pact once broken, forged anew. Warlocks Waffles.
Did you want waffles?
Oh, we were live for like the past 3 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Warlocks Waffles. This is the stream. Welcome to the energy that we've created in the studio this morning. Oh man, Junie, right before we went live, you moved your camera or something.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
It was like the moment I switched us to live, your camera went, I'm just going to show like a foot of bookcase on the side of the green screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what button I hit. Like, it wasn't this one. There we go.
Oh, no.
Oh, did you have to reach for that button? Are you having to use your hands?
I am
Sir,
having to use my hands. There
get
is
a
a part
foot
of
pedal.
me. See,
Get a foot pedal.
here's the
for
problem,
this
man.
action right here.
Here's the problem. It's so easy to talk me into buying another piece of tech, and I don't need it.
I would not
like
get this. I would not buy this for myself. It was a gift, and it was the best gift. But it is so awesome because I freaking love using my feet for things.
somebody's gonna clip that.
Somebody's gonna clip that, and I'm upset. I should have a button to clip that. Yeah.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. This is Warlocks and Waffles, the only TTRPG morning show on the internet until somebody challenges us for the title. We welcome the challenge. If you're out there and you're going, I also have a TTRPG morning show,
It's garbage.
hit us up. This is an official challenge that you are the lower one. I don't know.
Let's be one, but you're not.
Let's have a fight.
One.
Let's have a friendly rivalry. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, yeah, we also have a TTRPG morning show, and then we get to be like rival spots where we're just like, yeah, we hate them, but everybody knows that like we have a playful banter.
Yeah.
I would love that. Welcome to the show. So first things first, before we get into doing any of the like actual show stuff, I need to show something that I found while I was cleaning my room the other day,
Okay.
which is this fun little thing. Give me a second. It's this fun little thing, which you may be asking yourself, what is that? It looks like a tankard, but there's like a beer
holder
stein,
for
but
holder
there's-
for a tankard. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So you just slide your soda can in there,
Uh-huh.
and now
I'm with you.
Now it's a little stein thing.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
I've had this for years. I have not known where it was for years.
I've been here. I understand this.
It was something I got off of. I don't know if you remember the site ThinkGeek.
Yeah. I have stuff from ThinkGeek.
I have a lot of stuff from ThinkGeek. ThinkGeek was like the site that my parents were like, pretty much anything we order off of here, he'll like. So a lot of my birthdays and Christmas and stuff was ThinkGeek.
My bag of holding.
I have the bag of holding
your
too.
Messenger bag. Yeah.
Dude, the bag of holding is a great bag.
Yeah.
Like
legit.
it still holds up. Do you have the one
Yep.
with the backpack straps as well, or is it just
No,
the
no,
the
just the
messenger
gray
bag?
one. Yeah, no, just the regular messenger bag.
I have the one that has the backpack straps on it, but it also has the messenger bag one. So
Hmm.
it can like go between, do both. It's a transformer.
Both worlds.
There's a weird energy this morning, and I think a large portion of it is due to the
Yeah,
fact that
you pulled a Junie. You
I
pulled a
text
Junie
I
with
did
your
pull a Judy.
pitch.
I
You did a
texted
pitch that
Junie
I'm like,
yesterday, and I said, "Hey, are you ready for the show tomorrow?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Awesome. I have a topic." And he said,
I don't know
"What?"
why. I don't know why, but the way you said yes, it was just like yes.
Yes. Well, first of all, I texted Junie and said, "Are you ready for the show tomorrow?" And then he didn't respond
Fair.
for a very
I
long
did.
time.
I apparently. I don't know. I read it at some point, but I don't remember seeing that message. So I
I've done that.
apologize.
I've done
All
that
day.
so many times. It's not a problem. I We are both aware that if we want to get in touch with the other person, if we text them and they don't respond, we just have to send a follow up because the other person may have absolutely
It's not
seen it and just
malicious.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's never malicious.
it's never malicious.
Um,
It's just irresponsible.
T-shirt, Rosie, add it to the T-shirt list. It's not.
It's not
It's not
malicious. It's
malicious.
just
It's just
irresponsible.
irresponsible.
Dude, yo, that would sell. Holy crap. That
Oh
would
man.
kill. That would kill in any
Yeah.
circle. I don't even know what imagery aside from just the words.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah,
Oh my
it's
god.
but yeah, I texted Judy. I was like, "Are you ready?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, I've got a topic for the show. I don't want to tell you anything about it
That's
until
it's
we're
such
ready."
a it's such a trust experiment.
It
It's
is,
such a it's
and
just like I
it's
need you to
something that
hold my hand and go
do.
through this dark cave.
We do it so regularly, because most of the time it is you being like, I know what I want to do, but I don't know if I want to tell you. Like I have a bit or I have a thing that I want to do on the show. Um and we'll see how it goes. Um so yeah, that's what we're going to do
Yeah,
today. Um the I would like, let's see. What order do I want to do things in?
I'm
Um
really curious. I don't know
Yeah, because
what's
all
happening.
Junie knows is I asked him if he had the Acquisitions Incorporated D&D book, and if so, if he could open it. And so he has it open,
Huh?
but he doesn't know why. Um,
Correct.
I think let's do this. You already have that piece of information,
That's all. Yeah.
Junie.
Yes.
Can you please open the appendix C?
What? Okay. Yeah. What am I opening?
Appendix C.
Appendix C. Okay. All right. Okay. Is it the first thing? Okay. All right.
There are two entries in Appendix C of the Acquisitions
Okay.
Incorporated. There is
Mm-hmm.
the battle balloon and the mechanical beholder. Fuck the battle balloon. I don't care about that. That's nothing.
Uh-huh.
I want you to go to the mechanical beholder section. First of
Okay.
all, just look at it because it is a robot beholder that you sit inside of and pilot.
This is you don't really know, you don't know Power Rangers like I do, but this is like a Power Rangers Megazord kind of thing going on right here. It looks like it requires multiple people to pilot.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
That's a
it looks
Megazord.
crazy. Okay. Follow up
Uh-huh.
to seeing that,
Yes.
my lovely wife and I were out and about doing stuff this weekend for our anniversary, which is technically today. But we were thank
Congratulations.
you. But we were out doing stuff and we went to this little shop while we were out. And it was just this weird shop. You know those shops where it's just like it's a holiday shop and also like this section is just like uh like
Uh-huh.
weird little like statuettes, and this section is like Lucky Charms, and this section is like walking
Yes.
sticks, and stuff like that. You know those shops in every like tiny like touristy
Yeah,
town?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we were in one of those shops, and while we were there, uh I found
Mm-hmm.
this.
Oh, what? Okay. Uh,
Um which
all
I'll
right.
see if I can get the camera to focus directly on it.
Yeah, holy crap, that's
Um
focused.
this is it's all metal. But it
Does it
is
have heft? Because it looks like it has
it
heft.
has heft to it. But it is a like steampunk beholder with wings. Um and I saw this and I went, "Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
I can build an entire adventure just around the ability to use this as a mini 100%." Um and so here's my thought. I would like to build out an adventure with you today
Okay.
that revolves around the individual who has built this thing, but is like missing a few like key parts that they need,
Okay.
and is sending the adventurers to like track down these parts, and then bring it back. At which point he assembles it, and the party realizes that they've just helped the bad guy finish their like doomsday device.
I love the flavor text for the mechanical beholders. When you hear the mechanical holder click to life, it sounds like death itself snapping its fingers.
Uh huh. It's such a
Which,
good line. Also,
yeah.
for anybody who hasn't read through some of the stuff in the Acquisitions Incorporated book, it's very fun. Like
Oh yeah,
every
yeah.
section of this book is very entertaining. There is a spell in this book. Let me see if I can find it real quick, just because it's very
Isn't it like,
entertaining to me.
well, there's one that's like Jim's magic missile, where it's like
Jim's
magic
magic
missile.
missile
You
is
gotta
very
piss,
very
you gotta
good. Yeah.
pay like a price. Like it's just like here's a little royalty. There's royalties to like
Um
some of the spells.
Yeah, so Fast Friends is a good one. It's like you can't rely on vague promises, sworn oaths, and binding contracts of employment. When you cast the spell, you choose one humanoid within range that you can see and hear you, and they can understand you. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed for you to bear their duration. While the creature is charmed in this way, it undertakes to perform any service or activity that you ask of it in a friendly manner to the best of their abilities. So a lot of them are in here are like these are kind of like other things, right?
Yeah.
But there's one in here that my players have routinely taken as just a troll spell, which is distort value. Do you need to squeeze
Okay.
a few more gold pieces out of a merchant as you try to sell that weird octopus statue you liberated from the Chaos Temple? Do you need to downplay the worth of some magical assets when the tax collector stops by? Distort value has you covered. You cast this spell on an object no more than 1 foot on a side, doubling the object perceived value by adding illusory flourishes or polish to it, or reducing its perceived value by half with the help of illusory scratches, dents, and other unsightly features. Anyone
Gosh.
examining
Okay.
the object can ascertain its true value with a successful intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. Recently, I had a player who was like going around this room and just kind of like looting stuff and was just like putting stuff into his bag. And I had another player who was wasting a first level spell slot every time he picked something up to cast distort value on it and make him think it was going to be worth more than it actually was. It's like, you're just spending spell slots to troll a party member, which is so funny to me. But anyway, that is beside the point. If you haven't read through the Acquisitions Incorporated book, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff in
Yeah.
there. One of the backgrounds that they add in there, I believe, is rival intern, which is just like there's so much good stuff in this book. But the reason I had you pull it up is because they do have a stat block for the mechanical beholder, not as a monster, but as a vehicle.
Yes.
And so it gives you one crew with up to 5 passengers. The cargo capacity is the crew and passengers' normal gear. It has a travel pace of 3 miles per hour. Um, it has
Oh God. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
condition
Yeah.
condition immunities to blinded, charmed, deafened, exhausted, frightened, incapacitated, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, stunned, and unconscious, because it's a vehicle. It has, on its turn, the mechanical beholder can take one action. It cannot take any action if it has no crew. It can either move or use its eye rays as an action. So its movement, it can, let's see here. Move up to the speed of the ship's magical propulsion unit with one 90-degree turn. The helm can be attacked only if the hull has taken 100 or more damage. If the helm is destroyed, the mechanical beholder can't move. It has a burrowing speed of 30 feet, a flying speed of 30 feet, and a swimming speed of 30 feet.
Okay.
It's an all-terrain vehicle.
It's an all-terrain vehicle. Okay.
Its eye rays. It has let's see
Six
here. It
tentacles.
says 6 tentacles. Each one has the ability to shoot any of the below 3, which is disintegration, innervation, or paralyzing. So it doesn't have any of the like really crazy ones. But disintegration is bad. But
I misread. It was so funny because like the propulsion unit has hit points.
mhm.
And then I saw that the speed was -5, and I didn't understand what I was looking at. I was like, but it's you minus 5 feet
Yeah,
for each 25
it's
damage taken. So
it's a
yeah,
it's a
it's
very well designed thing of
hmm
like it has it like the armor class of the hull and the hit points of the hull. It
hmm
has a damage threshold, which is always something very cool to me to see,
hmm
where it's not going to take the damage unless you deal at least 10, because it
hmm
is like heavily armored. It has the helm controls that has its
hmm
own armor class and its own hit points. You can't attack the helm controls unless the actual hull has taken enough damage, because it's within the inside of it. And then it has the like propulsion unit. So if you wanted to target that specifically, you could, to make it so that this thing couldn't move around. So lots of cool stuff there. Um,
hmm
my question to you is, what sort of individual, because I always love a game where the players are like, yeah, we're helping this person, and then like at the big twist is like, yeah, the person you helped was the bad guy. Like
Yeah.
you've just helped him assemble like his death machine.
Yeah.
And so my thought process here is like, this thing needs to be assembled.
hmm
There are pieces from it missing. My assumption would be that the party doesn't know what they are assembling. They are just told
Yeah.
that like these pieces have gone missing on the road or something like that. Like they're
Yeah.
essentially just like any other like go find my lost bag of laundry sort of quest, except it's like
I already
this.
have the adventure. I already have the whole thing. I
Okay,
have the
awesome.
entire thing already
Great.
mapped out.
This will be a fantastic collaborative episode.
Yes,
Um,
I'll tell you what your adventure is. No, go
so my question to you,
ahead.
first things first, who is this character? Who is this NPC that we are like who is our surprise villain? What does this individual look like? What is their background? What is this character? Um, and the reason I am turning to you for it uh,
hmm
is my immediate instinct anytime there is an insane inventor person is, oh, it's a gnome. It's absolutely a gnome. Like this is some crazy gnome like
hmm
inventor person. And I feel like I should probably do a different choice here.
hmm
Um, so what are you thinking? What is your thought process here?
I'm trying to. dude, the like I have a similar reflex where I know I will go to a certain place the same way you were
Mhm.
like, I will go to Nome, and I already said it, and I'm gonna try to like I'm being open that I said it, and I'm gonna try to fight it because I already said it's just a Power Rangers vehicle.
Mhm.
So because I know you don't know, I
You're
almost
trying to avoid any additional
I
Power
was gonna
Rangers
do the
reference.
Junie cliche of I'm just gonna describe Power Rangers to you without you realizing it,
Mhm.
and at the end, I've fully just made you accidentally write a Power Rangers one shot. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it
I
because
appreciate that.
as hilarious as it is, I almost just fully verbatim described a Power Rangers villain. You'd be like, okay, cool, yeah, it's a witch, and she's assembling, so they're riding around in the head, but you have to get the powers of the beholder in the head, and the fetch quests are going to be getting all the other pieces of other iconic monsters, but those will be the other limbs. And
Mhm.
before you realize it, you assembled a Voltron Megazord type of monster that can just do all that. But then there's a set of good guys that have been doing the same thing, and they also have a giant fighting robot, and then the fighting robots have to fight at the end.
So, but then
For this one,
I would also have to run an adventure like a few months later where they're doing the exact same thing, but to
yeah,
help somebody assemble something that's definitely not the same monster because this one's blue and also larger.
yes, that's really good too. That's really good.
See, I pay
So
attention to the Power Rangers lore you drop.
so here's the thing.
I'm waiting.
Does this person
Uh-huh.
are they creating this for fun, for a purpose, or is this just the do they want something not even related to this? What do you think? This is just like, like Batman always has bat themed things.
Mhm.
Is this like a beholder and they give them beholder themed things? And it's just like them giving like, hey, here's a beholder mobile. I
Mhm.
need items for more beholder things. Like,
So I
what
my instinct here is that they are attempting to finish building this. This is not finished being built.
okay.
And so they are sending the party to like retrieve the last few items that they need to finish building this. So it's like the eye and the wings and the power core for one of the whatchamacallits or something like that. Like they are being sent to uh like get those things and bring it back so that they can finish building this machine. I
Interesting.
don't think it's like a yes, I need you to go get my beholder rings.
So that's here
It's
so
just a frisbee.
it's just okay. So does that mean that you would have it so you would have to pare down the mechanical beholder to so they're building it up to this point, or would you use this as the baseline and then they're like tricking out and pimping this ride?
So my thought process is this is the like this stat block here is the like the finished product. Right
Okay.
now it is not a the machine is not ready. Like he has built it all out. It is ready to go except he's missing like these crucial pieces that he
Okay.
needs the party to go and retrieve those pieces and bring them back so that he can finish it. But I would say like he probably doesn't even show them what it is. Like he wouldn't tell them
Yeah.
what he's building. He's just hiring them to retrieve the items that he needs.
So what would you so is this a one shot or like a multi like how would you
I think
how
like a mini arc. So
okay.
it could be a part of a larger campaign where it's just like this is a like 3 to 4 session thing. Or it could be a like its own like little self-contained mini adventure type thing.
Okay. So then, if you break down what this thing has, it
Mhm.
has the hull, it has the propulsion, and it has the tentacles.
Yeah.
So this thing's gonna start as a shitty cart.
Yeah, essentially.
It's just gonna be a crappy cart if you're giving it to them in the beginning and then upgrading it as they go.
Well, I
Uh,
wouldn't give them the machine. The machine
oh, I thought they were using it
no.
like. Oh, that's
He-
funny. Okay,
He
all right.
has the machine. He's not showing them what it is. He is just sending them to retrieve these things
Okay.
that he needs in order to
And
finish
he's gonna
it.
end up.
He
So
he has a doomsday device that he is
Okay.
going to utilize. He is sending adventurers out to retrieve the last pieces that he needs,
oh, then this isn't.
and bringing it
Ooh.
back to him.
Okay, so I'm operating in the assumption the party's going to need to use this. So that
No,
this
no,
isn't
no.
this is not an individual. This is a team of smart kobolds.
Okay.
You have sent a vehicle that looks like it needs more than one person to fully like use its abilities.
Okay.
Because it has the driver's seat with the pilot there, and then it has little dangly bobbers atop each seat because each person controls an eye stalk.
Ooh,
It looks
okay.
like you see
Yeah.
that like there's a
So
little
that
like
would make
lever.
that would make this more impressive. Like this stat block becomes much more deadly if it can do like one person is piloting, one person
Yeah,
is like
you use like
doing
ship
this
combat
stuff.
rules where it's just like, all right, this person's using their action to aim that eye stalk
Mhm.
and do that. And if you like, if the whole thing gets jostled and they fail or whatever, they can get
I'm
knocked out of their seat. They didn't wear their seatbelt type
I'm
of thing.
picturing a submarine periscope, but
Mhm.
they're like moving it around so the eye stalk is moving on top.
So it's like a team of 5 identical quintuplet kobolds, right? And every time they interact with, they're either all there and the adventurers know that it's multiples,
Mhm.
or every time the adventurers interact with
They
them,
keep
it's a
interacting
different
with a
one.
different one.
Yeah, and they have to like go, I don't think this is the same one. This one's definitely using an accent. Like, did he have a mustache before? It looks like the same one
Yeah.
otherwise completely, but it
Yeah.
is. I think he has a mustache now.
This one has a monocle. I do love kobolds. And you do have some level of like the lore is there already with the like you have the like kobold inventor is like an actual stat block. I will say the kobold inventor typically their inventions are like bag of wasps and like skunk in a cage, scorpion tied to a stick.
They're
Like
all
those are usually their adventures.
they're all wearing headbands of intellect. They found
Okay.
they're all like, and they each have like a
Counter
different
argument. They have
Uh-huh.
one headband of intellect that gets passed between them. Like
Ooh, so they're all
like the
smart
Fate's Eye.
kobolds. Okay, so they're all smart kobolds, but they take turns being the
Being
smartest
in charge.
kobold.
Yeah, they have a week. They have a
Yeah.
schedule that shows like whose day it is
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
headbands.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm into that. I like it. I like a
But like,
kobold.
something to something to go, this is why it could be
Yeah.
not crappy.
It's like it's like that ogre from Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
Where he's
exactly.
yeah. I love a like an intelligent monster amongst the other monsters is always very fun.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
I'm mad at that ogre, by the way.
why?
Just a quick Baldur's
Quick
Gate
Baldur's
aside,
Gate
as we all
break.
do. We should have like a
We
button
need
that's just
a
like Baldur's
sound
Gate
bit that's
moment.
just
Yeah.
just a
Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate.
Gate moment.
Yeah. I hate that my current. I did another quickie playthrough, and
Mhm.
my current one I hate because I picked a rogue. I'm maining a rogue thief.
Okay.
And I just now have money to do all the things, and I was like, damn it! Of course, just now I can steal and earn as much money as possible, so I can do all the things I've ever wanted to do, and everybody has fully specced out.
Yeah.
But I wanted to like just I'm gonna make quick work of this whole goblin base, and I went up to the rafters,
Mhm.
and I was like, I positioned everybody in strategic there. We're just gonna take everybody out in one shot. And then I had my main guy blow the horn, and I'm like, and I've done this before. Those ogres are gonna come in and wreck everybody's day. I
Mhm.
blew the horn. They never showed up
Mm. Was this the first time you had done it on that playthrough?
on that playthrough.
Interesting.
But the other time I did it the first time, I was in the middle of the horde.
Mhm.
I blew the horn. Everybody rolled initiative, and they like Leroy Jenkins, like we're here, and they just
I
came and
wonder-
wrecked face. I think it's because I was high up.
They couldn't
no
get
one-
to where you were at.
They couldn't get to where I was
Yeah.
at, or no bad guys were on my level.
Yeah, there was no
Those are the only
path
thing I
to
could
it.
think
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, it's
was real
probably
mad.
like how I keep trying to fly places, and the game keeps being like, "There's no clear path there," and I'm like, "It's
The air.
it's there. I want to fly," and it's like, "There's no clear path." I'm like, "It's flight. If I
Yeah.
can draw a straight line, I should be able to get there." And it's like, it's
Also,
so,
they should
it's
make
so tough.
Mage Hand. They should make Mage Hand a few times. Like at least give it like 3 uses or
It's a
something. like that, 'cause
cantrip. It should be able to be done as many times as I want to.
I can see why in a game you wouldn't want to make it spammable. I can understand that
Sure.
logic of why, but still one time is ludicrous.
One
I think I
time
used
is
my
absurd.
short rest and a long rest to throw a chest over because I couldn't get it otherwise, and it was for like 12 gold and a cup. And I
Mhm.
was like, did I just like use like a whole day and a half for for these 12 gold and a cup? Because
Yeah.
I wanted mage handed over.
Pretty much every caster I have ends up taking it just so that I have the ability to use it. Yeah. It also, I will say, on the topic of mage hand, it took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that like when you click to use mage hand, you have to like click to use it and then like click in an empty space to summon the mage hand and then go and use it. I was clicking to use it and then everything lights up and I was clicking what I wanted it to go do and it was like there's no space here and I'm like this is a useless spell. No, it's just I needed to summon it elsewhere and then control the hand to go do that thing. It's still also not as useful as I want it to be. But
I understand
it is what it is.
I get you.
Also, while we're in our Baldur's Gate break, I finally found Minsk and Boo, and had
Matt Mercer.
that's the thing. I didn't
literally
know
the only thing I knew beforehand. I did not know anything about.
didn't know Matt Mercer was in it.
This one.
I didn't know Matt Mercer was in it. I didn't know that he was voicing Minsk and Boo, who I was like, I love Minsk and Boo. So I was like, they showed up, and the moment he opened his mouth, I was like, that's motherfucking Matt Mercer. Like I shouldn't have been surprised that Matt Mercer voiced a prominent character in the D&D video game. But I was not anticipating his voice. But yeah, the first time I rescued them, by the way, I like rescued them and they were like, you have to like knock him out so that he's not like fully dead. And then you like, cause you have to like fight him first. And so you like you knock him out. And I like knocked him out. I did all the stuff to like go through all the conversation stuff. And then it was like, okay, cool. Like we're allies now. And he gets up and he like walks away. And the moment he did, one of the attacks that I had done some like for the next 3 turns, you take this amount of damage or something like that. So he stands up and walks away and immediately dies. And as soon as he dies, Jahira is like, you killed Minsk and I'll never forgive you for this. And she leaves my party forever. And also Minsk is dead and he wasn't an ally yet. So I can't like bring him back. I was like, I didn't do anything. And I had to reload and I was like, I haven't saved in the last hour.
I accidentally killed everybody in the grove. Not everybody in the grove, but I outed Korga. And
that happens.
When I didn't like it was like one of those fights that was way spicier than it needed to be.
The
but it was
Druid
like
Grove
fun
fight is intense. Yeah.
That was nuts. But then the wolf died, which I felt real sad. And then the guy, like the second in command.
Yeah, the guy who's like, don't kill the child. It's like, oh no.
He also died. Everybody but like the random dude I saved at one point, and he's just like, thank you for saving me. He was the only one left and he had no authority, and I was like, well, dang. I guess I'm gonna steal everything. Dang.
Well, I guess all this is mine now, huh?
I didn't earn this. I feel like I didn't earn this time, but everybody's did.
anytime everybody accidentally dies in the Grove, it's like, well, I guess this is the playthrough where I side with the goblins, because like then
Everybody else
you
was
go,
okay, but just
oh, okay,
the leadership, unfortunately,
oh,
the
okay,
leadership in that room is gone.
yeah.
Also, Nettie, I toggled non-lethal damage.
Sometimes it does it, yeah.
Yeah,
If there's any additional
she chose
uh
violence,
if there's any
and
additional effects on there,
yeah,
it'll still do it. But that's not what we're here for. We're not talking Baldur's Gate
and
today.
that was our Baldur's Gate moment for the day.
Yeah,
We're
this has
never going to
been
come back to it at all.
never.
Not today. Not today.
Um,
That was our. We get one. We get one moment that lasts.
this has
15
been your
minutes.
Baldur's Gate moment. Every time I do that, it is just a tribute rift to the Adventure Zone for Fantasy Costco, where all your dreams come true. Big love to the Adventure Zone. Anyway, we're talking mecha beholders.
Okay, so here. So we said that some of the things that like in order components to make this thing work.
Yeah.
The hull,
So we have
the propulsion
a
unit,
group
and
of
the tentacles.
we have a group of kobold create like tinkerers. The more I play with it in my head, the more I think, instead of having them like rotate who has the headband of intellect, I think like we just have one of them is in charge, one of them is the smart one who drew up the plans, because that also means that we can have like one of them who is just like super not a bad guy, like is just like he's along because like they're building this thing and it's this fun like project, and then like finds out what's happening is like, no, that seems like a bad thing. Like we can have one just like real adorable innocent kobold, which I really want to have.
They've intentionally wrote silly and janky applications into this mechanical beholder thing, which I think would be that one member that's not as bad because dangerous manipulation, gears, levers, and buttons.
Oh, the equipment and options.
Yeah, and it's just like, but more recent models control have voice commands, like they respond to voice commands, but not always accurately. So that's kind of funny. It's almost like you have to roll for the machine to understand, just in case. Like, the
machine's making insight checks?
But yeah, but like there are the equipment and options, sensors, probes, gauges, for picking up magical auras or making masterfully dry martinis, as if like it's just like hit this button, and then like like a milkshake starts being like, and it's just like, who put.
Yeah, I can absolutely see the adventurers like each of the kobolds gives them like a thing that they need to go out and retrieve.
Yeah.
And the one kobold's just like, yeah, I need you to retrieve this shipment from this place, and they go and get it, and it's just like a crate with like parts of like an espresso machine, and they're like, I need my morning coffee. Like I got a drink that to make me like wake up in the morning. And they're like, you don't need an espresso machine in the Doomsday device. I love the concept of one kobold who's just like actively not making a Doomsday device, and is just like I feel like that one kobold, just for the sake of making this as like dumb as possible, the kobolds are absolutely all siblings, right? So one of the kobolds absolutely believes that they're just like assembling a thing so they can do like a family road trip, and so just keeps outfitting the mechanical beholder with like road trip stuff, like this is a mini fridge, it holds our snacks, like this is gonna make sure that all of our rats stay nice and cold on the trip, like just really really dumb stuff like that. And if you do that, you could draw this out over a few extra sessions, if you give them like a long list of stuff that they need to do.
A laundry list.
And I actually feel like the more the more stuff you can give them that they need to retrieve for this thing, the more confused the players are going to be about what it actually is, which means that that final reveal of, oh, it's a death machine, is going to be so much funnier. When they're like, why did we get parts for an espresso machine? Why did we have to get a Sensi candle warmer for this thing? Like, why did you need a record that exclusively plays like Phil Collins? Like, I don't understand. It's like, Phil Collins is my favorite artist. Like, that there's so much room for nonsense in this, and I love that.
I always love doing the curveball of a very a very dangerous, important, or whatever type of item, artifact, or whatever it is, but used incorrectly.
Mhm.
So something along lines of like, if they had to acquire a bunch of things like the hide of a bullet,
Mhm.
and then that ends up being a component for the hull.
Yeah. Oh,
Some of the
that's good.
tentacles.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the tentacles of a grell are the baseline for the eye stalks or something like
Mhm.
that. You know what I mean? Or they
Yeah.
gotta hunt specters. Whatever
Yeah.
the thing is. Um, but then
The
something.
hunting a specter is a very good one, because that's a challenging enough
Mhm.
fight, but they can be like, I need you to hunt this thing, and I need you to make sure that like these pieces aren't damaged in that fight.
Yeah,
And so then you have the party like, we can't use area of effect spells, we've got to
yeah,
be very careful with our strikes. And then you incentivize it with like, we're giving you like, they will pay based on like each piece you bring back, they will pay you,
mhm,
and depending on the condition of it, they will like, there's a sliding scale for how much you will be paid for it. So if
that's
you
good.
want to go in and just like wreck it, you absolutely can, but you won't be paid as much. And then also, because the pieces are in worse condition, it would
Yeah,
have like a direct correlation to how well it works at the end. So if you just ran through and just butchered everything the entire way, you're not going to be paid as much during the entire process, but that last fight becomes way easier. It's just sort of that like weird little correlation there. That would be a lot of fun. Um,
I like the idea of getting something that's super clearly dangerous, but it's not used the right way. So imagine like a necklace of fireballs, and
mhm.
then once the reveal of, oh no, this is what they're doing with it, and whatever it is, they're just like, yo, we gave them a necklace of fireballs, like that thing can hurl those, or like a wand of fireballs,
Mhm.
something where it's just like that thing can do something for either a limited amount of times, but it can do those things.
Right.
Um, what what if that's just like, oh no, those are for the seat warmers, we took each bead and it just slowly, like, heats up
I
each
needed
seat.
that to heat up my hot pockets.
Yeah, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
it's the microwave component. It just,
Yeah.
each bead is under the plate and it rotates and it just puts in that, and it's just,
If
that's
you
what
can
it's
think
for.
of a better way to keep a thermos full of soup hot for long periods of driving, then I'd love to hear it.
This is all of them, by the way. This has been like, this is not
There's
like one of
there's
them.
four
This is
there's
how they
four
are.
of them that are just absolutely like horrible idiots, and are just like along for the ride, because their one brother was like, yeah, I have a plan, and we will use it to take what is rightfully ours. And they're like,
A road trip? Heck yeah! I can't wait to go to Dollywood.
like there's just a
Uh,
lot of like, four
yeah.
sweet innocent kobolds, and then one like very intelligent manipulative kobold.
So, okay. So,
I like that.
all right. So, if we're gonna outline this, like in grand scheme, we know it's
Hmm.
meeting, sending on quests. Then the middle will be quests, and then the end will be like, finding them, like that. And then you could space that out over like however many sessions, or if you're trying to
Hmm.
like truncate it into one session. But um, so if we go like meeting and all that stuff, sending out, I think a bullet hide for the hull,
Very good. Yeah.
is good.
And it also has a burrowing speed, so you can also tie like
Yeah.
bullet stuff
Yeah.
into that easily.
If you wanted to give something for each, like for the propulsion unit, like you can do something. It has a burrowing speed, a flying speed, and a swimming speed. Like if you want to get a different like cool iconic creature for each one, something with a cool burrowing speed, something with a cool fly speed that like hovers, or like I'm trying to think of like I always feel like I always see it in like anime, and I feel like Mephits also do it. I don't know why, but things with wings, but then also don't look like they're using their wings.
Yeah,
Here's
that are
like,
just kind of like in the air a little bit,
yeah,
but yeah.
I know that Mephits are most likely flapping their wings, and like in that game we're not allowed to talk about for the rest of the episode. Like I know they flap their wings, but like I also just envision them just uselessly, just kind of like hovering like this,
Yeah.
and the wings are just kind of like there. And so that would be funny to get the wings of something, and it's just to hover now. Like it's just they were a magical component. But
They
for the
just
eye
look
stalks,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
For the eye stalks, if not like some sort of tentacle or something like that, some sort of crystals, gems, glass, and it's just like energy's being focused through it, and it's just those things are the thing that's like condensing it. So it says 6 eye stalks, but it only mentions 3 beams.
Yeah,
So
I would
you can
imagine
do just 2 of each, or
Yeah.
I mean you can flavor however many things you want to get there.
We could also
but that would be
add
kinda fun.
extra like we could always add extra things if we wanted. My thought would also be like this is a great opportunity to be like, okay, what are the different types of like quests that a party is typically sent on, and we just do like one of each of those things, right? So you have like go kill the monster, go find this lost thing, bandits stole this thing, I need you to go retrieve it, I need you to like bring this thing from this place to this other place, I need you to escort a person from this place to this other place. You have all of those different things. It'd be very, very easy, and you could have actually for the escort one, you could have it be like, I need you to take one of these kobolds and protect them on the road to this other place so that they can retrieve this thing and then bring them back safely. And so it's just like that gives the adventuring party like a large stretch of time where they're traveling with one of the kobolds, that if they wanted to, they can like ask them questions and stuff like that. It also means that they're going to like bond with this kobold, so that in that final fight, like they're either going to have to like destroy that one, or they're going to have to like try and save them.
We need to pry Jerry out of there because we want to save Jerry.
We can't like there's a thing on there that will absolutely blow it up. But like, you can't blow it up because like Jerry's in there. Like, oh man.
But yeah. Also, a heist. Like, there needs to be a point, I feel like, where they all need to need to go, yo, like we're not bad guys, right? Like we're not actually doing something bad. Like, all right, we went to a tomb and found a thing, adventuring. Like, we took out a monster for pieces, whatever. Like, we're not bad guys, are we?
The like lead kobold needs to be very good at like rationalizing everything that they do. Of like I don't understand why we needed to like go into a temple and like go down into the crypt and like break open a crypt and get this thing and bring it to you. And it's like, oh, that's very easy to explain. That person was actually not a good person. They were not dedicated to that cause. This is actually they stole this from a different thing, so they have no claim to it, and they should not be buried with it. And like every time they're just like it's just that pivot team stuff of like oh, this is how it's actually a good thing. I like that. The kobold is just constantly like PR negotiations for like why the stuff is okay to have done. Yeah, they're just constantly rationalizing it. Um, what do you think is the end goal here for these kobolds? Why are they building a mechanical beholder? Like what is the end goal here? Because like clearly they don't have a good reason for it. They're not doing it to
Yeah.
like benefit all of humanity. There's got to be like a task or a mission or something that they are trying to accomplish. But what does that look like? What do you
I,
feel like is the end goal?
I think it would be I think a good villain is always one where they're positive they're right, and it makes you go for a split second, wait, are they really wrong though?
Mm-hmm.
And just something along the lines of kobolds are usually like picked on,
Mm-hmm.
in some cases not even fully counted as like, super duper like the in the game we're not allowed to talk about when somebody's talking about like animals whatever's, and then kobolds, it's kind of counted
Mm-hmm.
as like fodder.
Yeah.
um it'd be, since
Uh
there's more than one. uh
I was just gonna. I have the kobold page pulled up.
mhm.
They are reptilian humanoids, worship evil dragons as demigods, serve them as minions and toadies. They inhabit dragons' lairs when they can, but more commonly they infest dungeons, gathering treasures and trinkets to add to their own tiny hordes. Strength in numbers.
I,
Tunnelers and builders. The
I
lost god.
think
In addition
I
to the
think
dragon they
that
revere, kobolds worship a lesser known god. Legend speaks of how they were served as Tiamat's vessel or vassal in the Nine Hells until Garl Glittergold, the god of gnomes, stole a trinket from the Dragon Queen's hoard. Tiamat sent this god to retrieve the trinket, but Garl played a trick on him, collapsed the earth, and trapping the kobold god in an underground maze for eternity. For this reasons, the kobolds hate gnomes and pranks of any kind. Their most devoted worshippers dedicate themselves to finding and releasing their lost god from his prison maze. That
uh
seems like it. They've built a
well
thing
you
with a
I,
burrowing and a disintegration ray.
I think that I think because there's more than one type of kobold,
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a way to fully eke out more than one more than one motivation, and then
Sure.
you either have to pick which one is the least crappy or
Mm-hmm.
most right or something like that. Because I imagine like an inventor,
Mm-hmm.
like an inventor one. Wait, no, there was another one too. It was like the inventor one doing it for the sake of I can.
Right.
Like I can do this. So it's
Yeah.
I wanna like go above and beyond my
You
limits.
have
So that
the
you're like,
the
you need to
inventor,
stop. You need to calm down.
the inventor and the
Uh
tinkerer.
yeah, oh, there we go. The
Where
tinker. I imagine
they're both like working on this just for like the sake of like, oh, we've
the
built
tinkerer,
something.
I imagine the tinkerer being the one that's doing it for the possibilities. The
Mm-hmm.
inventor, I imagine being the lead one, where it's like we were stepped down, we were stepped on, and he's doing it to like liberate kobolds,
Okay.
to make a
Like
statement, to go,
it's a
we're
it's a
not.
it's a freedom fighter type thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah. I
we
feel like
are
that's
not.
the dragon shield, the kobold dragon shield would be a good
Oh, he
for like Viva la
we're we're
resistance like
we're I'm never gonna see another kobold get hurt. So his is
right.
more of like, I don't care about this whole like grand like plan thing. I don't
Yeah.
want to see my kobolds get hurt anymore. I
The
imagine an Icewind kobold just being like, I'm gonna find a place. I can't find a place that was hospitable for us, and
mhm.
I'm gonna make one. I
Okay.
want to make
I
one
like
for
that.
us. You
I
know what I
feel
mean?
like
It's like each one is
they have
like
the
making something.
yeah, I like that a lot. They have the scale sorcerer. The kobold
Hmm.
scale sorcerer, I feel like that is a good like I'm building a machine that will allow me to like free my trapped god.
Hmm.
Like that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that each one has like their own motivations, but they're all united under this like one like very intelligent one. And
Yeah.
I feel like the very intelligent one, like all of the other ones are these like variant types, right? They're all the
Yeah.
like the scale sorcerer, the tinkerer, the inventor, the dragon shield. I think the really intelligent one is just a kobold, just the base kobold stat blocks, but it has
Okay.
this like headband of intellect that has made it incredibly smart, and it immediately started using that to like it knows the goals of all of the other ones, and it has like assembled them with the intent of like, I'm going to tell each of them that like this is that we are working towards their goal.
You know
um
something then? Which one are you looking at the regular kobold? Because apparently there is also a kobold commoner.
there is a kobold commoner. I was looking at just regular kobold.
Because
um
kobold commoner is 10 across the board, which I think is kind of interesting. Where he's not
mm,
the weakest, he's not the least charismatic. He is just the most neutral, and then a headband of intellect would give them the, you know what I mean? Like the
yeah, I like that the kobold commoner is a challenge rating 0. um
Mhm.
when like, okay, yeah, like that makes
They're
sense.
not, yeah, they're average. Imagine here I to make up for themselves, if you get them out of the thing, aside from that's when you discover that aside from the headband of intellect, that's when they have the uh it's I guess if you can only have 3 attuned items, it's like the headband of intellect, gauntlets of ogre power, and I'm trying to think of like something else to make them like go. It's just like, I know I'm not the strongest,
Right.
fastest, or whatever,
Well,
but
there's one that
yeah,
gives you like a crazy constitution, right?
I
uh
think
give
so.
give
I
them
think
like
there
the
is.
like headband of intellect, something that gives you like crazy constitution, and then like a belt of giant strength. um
Yeah.
and and they're like, but they always play it off as they're just this regular kobold, but they're the
Mm-hmm.
one like giving all of the orders. And I feel like if they're incredibly intelligent, they might actually like stay back. They're not the one that is
Mm-hmm.
interacting with the party. They're always the one that is like playing it off as if they're just one of the normal ones. And like letting like the tinkerer or the sorcerer or the dragon shield be the one that is like talking to the adventurers and really playing it up, because they are the like they are more forceful in their personalities, and this one's just kind of there. We could also say that the headband, it could be a like a cursed item, of like it is a
Mm.
like its own like sort of possessed item, where it's like it has its own motivation, that it is
Interesting.
pushing this one towards like building out. And so like the plan that is being like created is not even technically the kobolds. Like this kobold is being like used in this situation almost.
I like it. So then,
um
is there another? Is it like another one? Like it's like a what's the big bad here? Like but what
it's just a regular beholder somewhere.
it's a beholder. It's a beholder that like was trying to psychically like reach out, and the closest thing he could get was a kobold. And
it's
it's
a
just like,
it's a beholder that somehow got trapped inside of this like
mhm.
headband. And so like it is that like headband of
Oh
intellect, but it's the
wow.
beholder's like intellect that it is being bestowed on this. So it's like driving him mad, but in this sort of like beholdery way.
Interesting.
um
I'm actually like, so how difficult would you imagine this, like this whole thing being? Because if we look at like how dangerous the vehicle is, like like the DC for one of the things is 15. You know what I mean? The
yeah,
damage, like it can, it can do some hurting. So what like 18 damage, 18 force damage. So
yeah.
it's not going to be a level 1 or 2, maybe not 3. Where do you think
I mean,
everything is gonna?
what's a specter? Let's see here. Or a spectator. Spectator is a 3. It has confusion, paralyzing, fear, wounding. Um, so that's not as bad. Um, so it's more than 3. I would say like a DC 5 maybe.
Okay.
Um, I'm just looking at like aberrations to see like what the different beholder type things are. I feel like a DC 5 feels right.
Okay.
Of it being like a like it's dangerous, but then like it's a DC 5, but then you have a like the creatures that are inside it as well. So you've got the
Yeah.
DC 5 of the actual machine, and then like the sorcerer is a DC 1, the dragon shield is a DC 1. Like give the one with the headband like access to some of the beholder's like eye stalk abilities as like once a day spells or something like that. Like that brings it up to like overall I'd say it's probably like a DC 8 fight. Something
Okay.
like that. Um yeah, I feel like that has some very strong potential. Um like that is
Okay.
a because with a DC 8 you could assume it's a DC like it's an adjustable DC 8
Yeah. Okay.
of like depending on what the fight ends up being, depending on what the end like how good they did in retrieving the parts and the like the kobolds inside of it and stuff like that. I would say it theoretically could be anywhere from a DC 5 to 10 depending on how well they did constructing it and like what they ended up fighting against it as, because like they could dismantle, like they could make it so that the machine itself no longer functions,
Yeah. They could. Yeah.
and then it's just the things inside it which are going to be not as challenging as fighting the thing itself. But it's also a like a solid, like when they're all inside of it, it's a one creature thing, so they don't have to worry about the like the additional stuff. Their action economy would quickly make up for that. So yeah, I'd say most likely 5 to 8. If they do like a really good job getting parts and stuff, they could end up being a DC 10
Okay. Okay.
for the
I, li-
for the fight overall.
yeah. And then you can add, you have all the other things in there.
Mhm,
Would you if we did like they got to interact with all the people, like, you know what I mean?
mhm.
I feel like part of the battle could be like you are sure that they can hear you in there. And it's I know I would have people that would just make their attempts to be, hey, I use my turn to try to convince the dragon shield one, the shield one, like, hey, don't you remember your dream of getting ice cream and whatever, and you won't be able to do this type of thing? And I want to try to persuade them to just like stop or leave, and then that eye stalk doesn't really do
Yeah.
anything.
They're just no longer like working in tandem with the rest of the group
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Um Oh, there's also in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, there's also a kobold underling. Um,
Oh,
so you could have that be the really intelligent one. Um, uh, oh, Kobold Underling has a trait called Messy End. The kobold explodes 3 rounds after it dies, or
oh,
immediately if it was killed by a critical hit. The explosion destroys the kobold's body, leaving its equipment behind. Each creature within 5 feet of the exploding kobold must make a dexterity saving throw or take damage. Uh, that's very interesting. If you made
that's
the like
nuts.
the big one, the like the underling, and then you make it where if it dies, the headband, like there's so much power that was coursing through it that like when it dies, that power has nowhere to go and it just like explodes outward.
Oh my
Um,
god.
that would be very, very cool. Um, I just have um I have the whatchamacallit, the calculator pulled up to like figure this stuff out. Um, yeah, so it looks like about a like as currently written,
Hmm.
using a spectator as the placeholder for the machine itself, and then adding the different kobolds into the machine. It looks like it's about a like a DC 7, somewhere around there.
Okay.
There also is I there's a kobold vampire spawn stat block as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
saw.
I
I was
was
like, I don't
I
know.
was
I
we
wonder. I don't
could
know.
we could have it be that like essentially mash up the underling and the vampire spawn of like it's not a vampire spawn, but like give it some of the traits of the vampire spawn because it is this like thrall of the headband. Um,
Okay.
uh, but yeah, we could build out a custom that seems like somebody who would need a custom stat block. Like all of them, I feel like would
I.
have a
I'm
modified
essentially
stat block
making
of
I'm
some way.
essentially making the leader like I'm making like a new character. I'm just like
How
how
would
would
I
I
spec
what
him out? Yeah.
and it's like I have like 4 levels of warlock and then 2 levels of war magic wizard because it's more of like tactical like smarts and not like as far as like other schools.
Hmm.
But yeah, because I was like, all right, well, if like what about a level like 6 character then if it was to be that way, that direction.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, there's so many ways to go about it. Um
Thank you for the
would you
follow, by the way. Appreciate it. Um,
so
I saw it pop up that there was one, and then I couldn't find the name of it. Uh, oh man. I, a Hilo. I feel like that's incorrect. I gave it my best shot.
Elo?
Elo,
Elo?
maybe.
Oh, maybe.
There's
Uh
letters. Welcome
yeah.
welcome to the stream. Thanks for the
Hi.
follow. Welcome to the nonsense.
So we're building. You want to show just for anybody that's joining us? Do you want to show
Yeah,
the mini that spawned this
so
whole
this
thing?
is the mini that spawned this conversation,
Hilo.
which is such a sort of a steampunk beholder type creature that I found this past weekend. But yeah, that is the creature that sort of spawned this idea, and then we were just building out an adventure that is essentially just an excuse to use that in a combat. But yeah, that is the idea. So let me just go through everything because I feel like we're about there, right?
Yeah.
So we have a group of kobolds, one of which is like under the influence of a headband of intellect that is possessed by like the spirit of a beholder or something else. We didn't flesh that out. We could always figure it out later.
I'm putting the mechanical beholder image on my
Dope.
screen just so I could
Um,
go like this is the DDB like the well from Acquisitions Incorporated
yeah.
the equivalent.
Yeah. So we one of them has this like headband of intellect making them smarter, so they're using that to like pull all the puppet strings and get the rest of the kobolds working on this project. Each of the different kobolds has their own objectives for why this thing is going to be made, whether that is like wanting to liberate the kobolds from their current situation, or releasing an old god, or like just taking over a beach resort somewhere. Like each of them has their own objectives. They are going to hire the adventurers to retrieve the like last few pieces that they need for this thing, so that they are going to go out and go take care of that. So we've got like the going out and killing a monster and bringing back pieces from it. We've got going and retrieving a crate or a shipment or something that went missing from like a bandit camp. Escorting somebody to the city to like pick up a shipment and then escorting them back, and essentially pulling the different tropes of like D&D fetch quests essentially, to like go do this thing, bring it back here, and then we'll pay you for it. And each time there would be like a reward for doing that thing. And I feel like what we could do is like have each of the things that they are sent for is sent for like a specific one of the kobolds. So like the scaled sorcerer is
Okay.
like, I need you to go get this thing that I need. It is in this location. And so then they go and do
Okay.
that. And then the scaled
Okay.
sorcerer is the one that rewards them with like something from them. So maybe it's like a weird like kobold magic item or something like that.
Okay.
And then the dragon shield is like, I need you to go get me this thing. And so it's just them getting something for each of them, and then it is assembled into the final form of it, which at that point the kobolds get in and they do their like their whole thing. I think that is a lot of fun. And
That does sound
it
really
leaves
good, yeah.
it leaves it very open to like that can be modified to fit
Mhm.
whatever you need it for. It's just my favorite type of like, here is a one shot is the like, here is the scaffolding. And you're going to like fill it in of like, these are the characters, they want this objective. And then you go through and like fill in the individual details of their stuff. I like that. I think that is a lot of fun. I wish I ran more in-person games because I really
I
want
was
to
about to
put
say,
this
I
on
was
a
just like,
table.
so when we're gonna do this, we're
Yeah.
gonna do this, and it'll be
I
like we'll have to figure out how to
yeah.
make this happen.
Yeah.
But we can do this.
I love the concept of like uh having the little map of like a workshop or something like that, and just in the center of the workshop there's just something that isn't like fully constructed yet, and so every time they come back there's just like little stuff that has been like added to it, and then the last couple of times they come back to the workshop there's just like a tarp draped over it or something like that, and then when the final fight happens it's like the kobolds go underneath the tarp and the party hears the like something powering on and twisting metal and stuff, and then the tarp just like flies off and this thing like rises up off of the map, like, oh man. And this thing also,
People have to
for
realize that it's
anyone
bad because
who,
they can't just go like, oh, that's dope. They have to go
yeah,
like, there has to be a monologue. There has to be like a
yeah,
bad guy monologue
they're
that is
absolutely,
like,
it's
uh-oh, they did
the one
yeah.
kobold like sitting behind, and like the thing powers up and it rises into the air and the mouth of the beholder starts opening as the creature inside begins monologuing their evil
Oh,
plans.
that's better than what I was gonna do because I would have like full blown like if you that's funny if you have that the mouth of the beholder moves because I would
Mhm.
have just had it like light up like Bender from Futurama where just like
Oh,
the
that's
teeth
good
part like
too.
ding, ding,
Yeah,
light up as it's talking. But
just like
they
echoes through the
yeah
metal.
like everybody
Yeah,
needs to realize that hey and
there
it
needs
needs
to
to
be
be under
that
the
moment of like,
yeah
we screwed up, we helped make the bad, like the
yeah
bad guy weapon.
and the party has to be under the impression of like okay we're supposed to be good guys and so because like just imagine if it's like I know I would have played with like a group of troll hooligans where they'd be like yeah and they all climb on the out exterior
Hmm.
of like the
Yeah,
the beholder
like,
and it's like
awesome,
Mad
where are
Max
we
they're all
going?
yeah they're gonna hold on they're gonna Mad Max ride into like the distance with this team of kobolds like it's like yeah we ride off and we're gonna help them wreck face
Yeah,
and it's like no you have to stop them
yeah. The I feel like the way that we make that very clear is
hmm
in that like in that evil monologue.
hmm
Like he goes through, explains his whole evil plan because he has to,
yeah
and then says something to the effect of like, okay, we need to do the trial run, make sure that everything is like functioning the way that it should, power everything on, you seem like a good initial test. And
Oh,
then like
that's
all
good.
the
That's
eyes just
good.
sort of raise and power on and turn
So it's
towards the party.
it's not even they have a choice. It's like, no, what if we were down to help you? It's like, no, we need to just
Yeah.
feel you to make sure this is.
We just
We
need
also
to
can't
make
have
sure
you
that this
warning.
functions. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't have you warning anybody of our conquest that's about to take place, type of
And
thing.
it also works so well with the headband being possessed by the spirit of a beholder,
Yeah,
because a beholder
yeah.
is absolutely the sort of like, I'm going to brag about my evil plan now and then kill you
Yes.
because I need to tell somebody, but I can't have you running off to warn anybody else.
Yes. No,
Um,
that's really good.
Also in the chat, Borg Holder is very good. That is a very good name for a robot beholder. Um, I love that. Okay, that feels good to me as a like
It does feel
a,
good.
a jumping off point. Something to build out.
We'll let
Um,
people know when we do it.
Yeah, we could always if Unplugged ends up working out, we could always try and like
Make it actually, yeah,
find
that'd be really funny.
just
Yeah.
grab some people and be like, hey, we're gonna play this dumb little thing. But yeah, we can absolutely find some time to do it. If we can't do it in person, we could always do it virtually, and I can just like hold up this thing. But yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here.
Yes.
Anything else, Junie? Any last minute thoughts on this?
I can imagine if we made them siblings, the fun argument of like, well, we know who's gonna drive the thing because like we're gonna say that one is, but and anytime there is like a mecha, and it's like different components are like reliant on different people, just the fun argument of like when something goes wrong, the like, what are you doing, you're supposed to be there, it's just like, no, I'm over here doing, like, you know what I mean, just like, it's like, why didn't you see them? It's like, I'm the left eye stalk, you're over there, you should see it. And just the fun inter squabbling that you will hear from within the from inside the beholder, the mechanical beholder, would be like really funny. And
That
I
would
just
be very,
imagine
very good.
that banter, and it's also exploitable because then it's just like, you can kind of like play the, imagine trying to, we can tear them from within, and it's just like, you're
Mhm.
just like, oh, let's make them fight or something. I
It's
think
a
that's
it's a DC-10 fight designed for a group of level 5 characters that is easily just thrown into disarray by exploiting like sibling
Yep.
rivalry and kobold argumentation. That's so much fun. I love kobolds so much. They're such a fun character to like play around with. So I love the concept of this. Okay.
Good random find.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
that.
Just a random shop in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere. It was also like nothing else in the shop was
Was that,
so
yeah.
clearly like this is so clearly like a D&D-esque thing of like nothing. The closest thing was they had some like Cthulhu and some other like steampunky stuff, but like this is very clearly a beholder.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, wacky stuff. Okay. I think that does it. I think it does it for us.
I think you did it. Yeah.
Do you have any anything you wanna plug before we wrap up here?
No, I just want to thank everybody for hanging out with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
There's definitely some fun, some people that might be joining us within the next few weeks or months or something like that. Some other people in the TTRPG space.
Mhm.
So we like hanging out with people. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're gonna have a bunch of
Yeah.
people hang out with us and talk about other things. They won't always be kobold related,
But they
but
could be.
they'll be just as ridiculous. So.
Yeah. And if you're watching the show and you're like, "Ooh, these guys seem like they like talking about nonsense things in the TTRPG space. Like I know somebody else who likes talking about nonsense things in the TTRPG space. Have them hit us up. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, have them hit us up. Let's see what's going on. We're always down to collaborate on some nonsense things together. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a great rest of your week. Until next time, because we don't have Silver in the Stars anymore. That wrapped up last week. Very, very sad. It was such a good show.
Well, so we're gonna
Go check out
talking about that. Yeah, we're gonna do a thing at some point.
we've gotta. I have so many last thoughts about that show. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't watched it already. This week, let's see here. What are our 3 calls to action? We talked about kobold family members. If you have like siblings that you haven't talked to and miss in a little while, reach out to them, see how they're doing. Ask them what their favorite meme currently is. If you have a friend that doesn't live in the area anymore, that you haven't seen in a very long time, and you just want to reach out to them, and just be like, hey, just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you, and here's the thing I was thinking about. And let's see, third one. If you have a group of kobolds at your disposal, round them up and like get them working on a doomsday device together, and like free the dead gods, liberate the people, take over a beach resort, do whatever it is that you want to do
all the things.
with your crew of kobolds. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. We look forward to being back on Friday, and until then, remember to embrace the nonsense. Later.